Plus-size traveler demands free seats, better accommodations on airlines. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And if you're returning, welcome back. I truly do appreciate your continued support on my channel. And I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button right now if you have not done so already. Please participate in the conversation, leave your comments and likes below because it's always interesting discussing these things with you guys. All right, guys, so in this world of entitlement that we all seem to be surrounded by, we come across this influencer named Jae'lynne Chaney from Vancouver, Washington, who seems to believe that airlines are responsible for accommodating her size and making things more comfortable for her, regardless of the implications or what it means for anybody else.
Right.
I do want to say this is not me fat shaming. This is not me talking about or judging anybody's size. I don't care what your size is. I don't care what your lifestyle is. I don't care what your eating habits are. I know that it's really easy for a lot of us to walk around thinking that other people are judging us based on any number of reasons. I just want to say, if I were to see Jae'lynne walking down the street, I probably wouldn't even think twice about it.
Nobody cared!
Because most of us have better things to do.
Nobody cares about that!
Than think about what other people look like or how they're living their lives.
Nobody cares about that!
So that being said, there does come this line between you do you.
Nobody ever pays attention to me!
And you have to make me feel more comfortable because of what I am doing.
Nobody cares. Nice hat.
And we seem to have this attitude that's just growing exponentially in society, particularly amongst this age group, that everybody else is responsible for making you comfortable. Everybody else is responsible for accommodating you on how you want to live your life and just making things better because of the choices that you are making.
Nobody cares. Listen. Major, nobody cares.
And just a disclaimer, again, I understand that everybody has a different body type. Everybody is a different size. Everybody's metabolism works differently. Everybody is not going to be thin. Everyone's not going to be heavy. And there are people that, you know, it's not feasible for them to be a size 2, or there are people that struggle to put on weight. I am not judging any of that. I am just saying that when it comes to being somebody who does not want to acknowledge the health risks of their lifestyle as somebody who is probably putting too many calories in their body and not moving enough, and then expect everybody else just to make accommodations for them and to just bow down and make all kinds of changes so that they can feel better about their life when they're not willing to make changes to make them feel better about their life, then it really just becomes a problem. So she is a plus-size travel social media influencer, and she demanded that airlines better accommodate larger passengers when traveling. Jae'lynne Chaney from Vancouver, Washington started the change.org petition, demand for the FAA to protect plus-sized customers. So let's just hear a little bit about what she has to say on this subject.
Let's just state facts. Plus-size travelers need more space. We simply want enough space to travel comfortably and safely without fear of being discriminated against because of our size.
Some critics pointed out that her plan could push ticket prices up for all passengers, but Jae'lynne says it's worth it. In a statement shared with Fox News, she said that these costs must be weighed against the benefits of creating a more welcoming and inclusive travel experience.
So she feels like it's the FAA's problem or the airline's problem to make her feel more comfortable. And I understand that flying is not comfortable. It is not comfortable for anybody. I like flying simply because it is faster, but those seats are not comfortable. Everybody is squished in there. The armrests aren't comfortable. No matter how little you get to recline your seat, nothing really makes a difference. Airplanes are just not a comfortable place to travel. And there are a whole host of changes I could recommend to airlines to make the experience more enjoyable. But I am not going to do that because if flying is too much of an uncomfortable experience for me, I am going to find another way to get to my destination. And as somebody, I am 5'9". Okay, so I'm not like freakishly tall, but I'm taller than a lot of people. So I find that when I sit down in my seat, it's really hard for me to like find a comfortable place to put my legs. I also come from a very tall family. I have cousins that are like 6'8". My brother was 6'6". And so they understand what they're getting themselves into if they choose to go on an airplane. They also know that they can request those seats that are either right at the front where there's a little more legroom, or in an emergency exit row where they have a little bit more legroom. They're responsible for making their own flying experience as comfortable as possible, knowing what the flying conditions are like. And height is not something that you can choose. There is nothing you can do about being a shorter person. I can't shrink my height or become 5'2" just to make my flying experience more comfortable. So there are certain things where it's like, I can't do anything about it. But when it comes to being as big as Jae'lynne is, it is her responsibility to take that into consideration, knowing what she is getting herself into when she chooses to get on an airplane, knowing that the seats are meant to fit the majority of people, and they are not made to fit the smaller percentage of people that are of her size. And as she admits, she doesn't care about the implications that means for everybody else, about the fact that if the airlines are to make all of these changes, that is going to cost a lot of money. And when you make those demands, they are going to pass that cost on to the rest of us. They are going to make their customers foot the bill for these changes. But she doesn't care. She doesn't care if we have to pay more money, and she doesn't care if she has to make the airline sacrifice 2 or 3 other paying customers so that she can be more comfortable. And it's this sense of entitlement that drives me absolutely nuts. I know that if she saw this video, she'd be like, "You're fat shaming me." No, I'm entitlement shaming you. I am shaming you for being a human being that thinks that everybody else needs to do what you need to do so that your life is more enjoyable, while you simultaneously refuse to do things on your own to make your life more enjoyable. So then there's a second video where she goes on to try to explain this petition, because she has started a petition to force the FAA to do these things for plus size travelers. So this is the second video that I have seen on her talking about this.
This petition right here is solely about getting free seats for people of size. Let me clarify. This petition is about ensuring that air travel is comfortable for everyone, regardless of their size. This petition is about plus size people, tall people, people with disabilities, and so many more. However, as a plus size traveler myself, I'm speaking on behalf of myself and plus size travelers everywhere who have also experienced discomfort and discrimination while traveling. We are calling on the FAA to require that all airlines implement a clear customer size policy. This policy should include clear guidelines on accommodating larger passengers. Travelers of size often face physical discomfort and health risks when forced to occupy only.
I just have to pause it right there, because I'm pretty sure most of you were thinking exactly the same thing as that I was thinking in that moment when she talked about the health risks of being forced to squish into a tiny seat when you are too big for that seat. So you are worried about the health risks of sitting in a seat that is too small for you, but you're not worried about the health risks of putting that much weight on your body and not doing anything about it.
This petition is not just about free seats for travelers of size. It's about creating a more inclusive and accessible environment for all.
It feels like the more that we hear the word inclusive, the worse things get for us.
Sue, that's incredibly racist.
Because if we say anything against this kind of petition or against this kind of issue,
Racist.
And just in this example, it means that we're being
Racist?
discriminatory.
Racist.
That's it.
It means that we're fat shaming, that we have something against this person personally, or we want them to be miserable.
I'm Filipino. That's racist.
In order to get their way, in order to get the thing that they believe that they are entitled to. And that entitlement generally comes from everybody else having to make sacrifices and everybody else having to take one for the team. And it means that they as a person get to disregard all of the negative consequences of the thing that they are demanding. Which means that they are being discriminatory against everybody else who do not need those changes, who should not have to foot the consequences for their demands. And it's absolutely insane because where do you draw the line? I am somebody who chose to have children. I wanted to be a mom, I have kids, and I have traveled with my kids before. I have brought them on an airplane with me. But I also am not going to approach the airline and say that you have to make all of these accommodations for me because I have my small children with me. I'm not going to demand that you take out seats and make room for a playpen, or that you have seats that recline further so that my child can take a nap, or that you provide entertainment for them, or whatever the demand may be, so that I am more comfortable as a parent traveling with my children. I understand that if I bring my kids with me, it is my job to supply the things that are going to make that flight as comfortable as I possibly can for all of us. I'm just over it. I'm over it with these people. I'm over it with this entitlement. And I'm over being called names or being called discriminatory because I disagree with you, or because I'm willing to step up and say, well, this is the reality of what happens if we follow through with those demands, because everybody else gets penalized if we go with those things. So it's really your job to figure out how to make that a better experience for yourself. So I would love to hear what you guys think of Jae'lynne Chaney and her petition. Not Jae'lynne Chaney as a person. I don't want any fat shaming. I am not trying to make her feel bad about her size, but just this whole idea of making the airlines make all of these sacrifices so that people of that size can feel better and feel less discriminated against. When honestly, I don't really think that's what it's about at all. I think they just want to be able to make demands and expect people to go along with it, and they know that they can call us names if we choose not to. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please like this video because it does help me in the algorithm. Make sure that you are subscribed. Also, please head on over to Rumble. That is something that I'm going to be repeating quite frequently because in 2024, I wholeheartedly believe the censorship is going to be off the charts, unlike anything that we have ever seen before. And I would love to maintain the ability to communicate with you guys, whether it be on YouTube or Rumble or X or wherever it may be. So please go ahead and do that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.